back end things. But no, I actually, before I even asked everybody to introduce themselves, like one of the main reasons why I wanted you guys to do that, not only because it's a networking event, but also I literally have not found a situation yet where there's some kind of tool, some kind of effort that I'm already doing, or something that I could even quickly find that works for a right industry or a different business or things like that. So it's just been incredible. I started this path early last year. It's been, this presentation is a culmination of the last 18 months, honestly, and being able to share it, be able to help educate folks and just share what I've learned. There's literally a section called What I've Learned with AI. And everything that you'll see in here today is literally something that you can go on, sign up for, and start doing right away today. I have a very cool business model in the fact that we'll get to the one slide, but I like telling people that I can fish for you or I can teach you how to fish because I think Scott and Liz are great examples of taking technology in house, doing their own podcast, writing their own scripts and PHP files and everything. It was like that's people are going to be just doing that more and more. And so if I can just be part of that instead of my old life as part of an ad agency where I saw a lot of enterprise clients leave because they brought things in house. So I wanted to pivot and make sure I was available and sitting at the table with small business owners. So that's really the main reason why I started my business. Um, and I also just want to make sure that everybody knows that this entire PowerPoint deck will be available on my website. I have a QR code at the end here, so don't worry about snapping photos or writing notes or anything if you don't want to. So you'll be able to access that as well as more resources too, because we're all here to educate and learn today. So quickly through the agenda, and I also know we're already at 12:50 right now, 12:53. We got what till 1:30? Okay, yeah. So I'll quickly go through. I have a ton of examples at the very end of this. What I really want to spend a little bit of time on are some of the trends that I've seen over the last few months, and then some of the things that you can immediately, again, start doing right away. And so, if that sounds good, we'll get right into it. And I did want to just point out some things that I've done because I think it's really important. Um, and not just this, but I've had a lot of different roles at different companies, media organizations, and things. But the biggest thing for me is, we were talking about before everyone got here, is like how overwhelmed people are about all the available options out there, things you can do. Um, and my wife is a testament to how overwhelmed I've been over the course of my career. Is like there's been panic attacks over everything that I've done across all of these different tactics and platforms and things. Is like, but I think that has set me up for success in the AI world because there's a new platform popping up every single day. And so my ability to jump in and out of these and learn these quickly have given me credentials heading into this space, even though I think we're all beginners in the AI world. So it's all about that adaptability is what I want to get across from that standpoint. And also, a lot of this is teaching. I've also been an adjunct professor at Spalding University teaching digital marketing courses. So that's a nice in between or a nice collection, complements really well with the marketing. So, again, just a little bit things about me make me a little qualified to talk about AI today. And I do want to note that everything in here, this is stuff that you can do right away. It's marketing only. I'm going to talk about the trends, how to start with it, and of course, you came here. I paid for lunch. This is a sponsorship, so I'm going to tell you some of my products and services. So, and hopefully, any referrals and anything, I'd greatly appreciate it. But what I'm not here to discuss today is any technical jargon. I'm not here to go deep into something, how to code something. I am literally giving you some tools and some examples and guidance on really how to start right away if you haven't played with some of the tools that I have. So keep that in mind as well. And so, this is the area I wanted to talk about the most as far as trends go. And this is my journey. And the early adoption, I had the fortunate opportunity in 2017 to start working with a startup in the United Kingdom who was using AI to optimize Facebook ads. And I was like, I jumped on that opportunity right away. It was really cool, integrated real well into my ads manager. And I started optimizing these nonprofit ads that started getting more donations from my client. It was fantastic to see, and it was really easy to use at the time. And I've been part of a lot of paid media teams, Facebook buying, Google ads. That has been impacted by AI for almost a decade now. And so it's kind of been part of my world for a long time. And now with everybody having access to ChatGPT, it's just become, accelerated a little bit more. And then over the last 18 months, like I said, I've compared and I've tested so many different platforms, whether they're free or just paying the 20, 30, $40 subscription for the month. So there's a lot out there, and I've kind of curated that, and we have a full slide with all of my favorite platforms that we can get to as well. I love this one the most because this was Slack last year. And then this was a new Harvard study over, in March 2025. And I call it No Shit Sherlock because I'm proud of the fact that I was like, I saw to my boss, this was a Slack message to my boss on March 31st, 2024. I'm like, what are we doing here? I mean, we got a lot of overhead. We got account managers, we got project managers. Like, we can use AI to really like cut some cost and start doing things a little bit more automated. And then I see this article and I was like, oh, no shit, I knew that, a year ago. So I was proud to see that. I was like staying ahead of the trend and everything that way. And then this is sort of my pitch. And this is me, my face on a robot. And I truly believe in this because I think, there's going to be that opportunity. Who is it? Mark Cuban, a bunch of the billionaires, they'd be like, who's going to be the first single person company become a billionaire? And it's going to happen in the AI era. It's just fascinating to think about. And so I knew heading into this, was like, I'm going to win more business myself as a marketing person if I open myself up to the opportunity of like, I can fish for you or I can teach you how to fish. And so there's a whole 2 different sections inside of here with ideas for the fishing for you side, but then also teaching how to fish. And a lot of them intertwine because depending on the platform or depending on, your preferences and staff and things that you already have, it may really help you as a single person or, keeping your team the same level that it is now. So you don't have to hire additional folks as well. So keep that in mind as well. So current marketing. I just wanted to point this out. A lot of these tactics here, I'm sure a lot of you have tried in your own realms. And so as you look at those things and as you evaluate AI, these are the top 3 things that I think about the most is strategy. If you're sitting across the table or you're looking at your computer screen trying to evaluate different tactics and tools, are you focusing on the business objectives and goals? That's going to be the biggest thing. If someone's trying to sell you something that's really shiny and it doesn't make any sense for your business, obviously, that doesn't work. But another thing is like, how did they build it? Is it future proof? Everything that you'll see in this deck, as far as examples go, and recommendations, it's future proof in the sense that it's built and it curates existing AI tools so that it can replace those AI tools with new ones or updates of those versions. So it makes a lot of sense in my mind. Like, don't buy something that is going to be out of date in 48 hours in some cases. Yeah.
I just saw an article the other day, a lady 30 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, really? By herself? Really? Oh, no shit. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Somebody's there.
All right. Cool. All right. And then I think transparency is huge. I don't, in agency life, it was always like, how much can we keep away from the client? Like, how much can we own? How much can we mark up? Like, oh, this platform costs us $100. Can we charge them $1,000 for a month? It's like, I hated it. And so with these AI tools, everybody accessing this stuff and already knowing some of the pricing is like, being completely transparent with all of these items is, I think, absolutely key. So I just wanted to share this because these are the 3 things I look for. These are the 3 things I hope to get across to folks of like, hey, I'm trustworthy, I'm ready to go, I'm going to work hard for you, but I'm also going to keep these 3 things at top of mind, so it saves you money and time in the future. All right, so AI marketing trends. I'll take a sip and then you guys think about where you sit with this. As far as traditional businesses, digital native, I think a lot of people probably fit there. Would anybody consider their businesses AI first? No. Autonomous enterprises, that's going to be something. I have a slide about 2026 and beyond, or 2027 and beyond on here, which is going to be, will hopefully shake your heads because a lot of this is just a reflection prompt of like, where's your company now? But I am curious, like, out of everybody who said they dabble in some AI, like, is it company mandated? Is it just personal mandated? Uh, are any companies encouraging it? No. Okay. Okay.
Well, I'd say that the N2 company, the overarching organization that manages all the products, is very much like use Canva, the Canva
Mm.
AI
Uh-huh.
thing, whatever,
Yeah.
to help with design of items
Well,
for
that's good.
social
Okay.
and things like that. But they're not. It's not every day. It's like maybe once a year.
Is it like a company-wide account, or you have?
Yes,
Oh,
company-wide.
okay, that's smart. Okay, yeah, that's kind of stuff I'm talking about. Is it like, hey, here's access to something?
Yeah.
So yeah, anyone else like that? Just personal? Okay, great. All right, here's some of the more interesting trends that I've seen. I love this one the most because it actually goes against my former life as a paid media advertiser. This is one that talks about ChatGPT versus Google searches. This is actually an outdated screenshot, but I like showing it still because it's still the trend as far as AI search engines are going to eclipse the traditional Google search or Bing and things like that here, or probably in by 2026 is the projected date there. So you guys may have ChatGPT as your homepage instead of Google now. So that's kind of the thing I'm talking about there. But this is also, Google, again, they're not going to go down without a fight. They got some of the best Google or AI tools out there. And this is a screenshot of one they first released, their AI curated response. And does anybody see anything here that they normally don't see, or that they normally do see? Um, it's advertising. There's no ads right here. It's the curated response from AI. And so a lot of the examples that you'll see here today are very content focused, is because I saw right away from an AI standpoint is like, if the ads are going to be pushed down and the AI companies aren't going to put advertising at the forefront, they want the great experience and they're going to charge from a subscription standpoint, then that was a huge shift for me. It was like, I'm going to get out of the paid media game because it's going to be less and less opportunity to get in front of folks. And so I got to help people create more content so they're in front of folks, from the ability of getting into that curated response, so they can be part of the 5 to 8 different citations that AI will recommend for them in that search. Does that make sense? Okay. I really like that. And then with this too is like, some websites who have owned different spaces, like g2.com is a great resource for if you want to compare different softwares. Um, and so they have seen a dramatic decline because ChatGPT and others can just give you the answer of like, here are your top 10 SaaS tools in a particular field. So a lot of people are going less to G2, but then here's another cool trend is that communities is going to be such a huge thing. So things like Substack. So maybe G2 has a great Substack. I'm not sure, but Substack.com as a whole has increased dramatically over the last few years. It's primarily because of AI, and it's not. It's giving an alternative. So like, you're getting your information from AI, but then maybe you want to converse with folks and you want to be part of that community. So there's a much more of a trend there. You may have seen advertising for like, hey, join our Reddit community now. It's all changing. You'll see that conversation happening a little bit more because people are going to keep coming less and less to your website. It is, I don't know the best way to describe it. It's like a subscription blog, email marketing altogether, where you can follow a certain person or group and get more updates that way. Yeah. You also have a paywall with it as well too, so you can charge people. This is another great trend. I think it's pretty cool that it's already happening where you can send your AI assistant or tool and go shopping for you. I think it's really neat to say, hey, I want this sport jacket, and I want you to find the best prices from the 5 best retailers or the ones that I prefer, and you can wake up the next morning and go shopping and find those lists. So that's another part of this too, is like, I am helping people build the knowledge base and the AI tools to allow that those AI tools can speak well on behalf of the company or on behalf of you, so that when people are shopping or asking their AI assistants and agents to find those right opportunities, that your AI agent is doing the same thing of like giving them the best customer experience, so that you're having a two-way conversation, but it's happening with your AI tools. That makes sense. Liz is looking at me weird. You okay, Liz? And then another thing I love, Chick-fil-A has their own show. Have anybody seen this on the app? It's on the app now. It's not AI produced, but it shows that obviously the technology is there to allow them to produce a Pixar worthy series of shows at a cost reduction price. And what really grabbed me about this is consumers are going to start creating their own content. And that's, you've heard of, anybody heard about blockchain, everything that way. It's unique with me on that because think about it, like you sit down for an evening, you want to watch a certain movie or show, it's like you can ask your AI eventually, be like, I want to watch a show about murder mystery with these actors and things, and like the blockchain will go out and say, these actors, this production studio, they all get the royalties off of what you just requested. And that's part of the community side of it too, is like if you're creating content as a consumer, how are the companies and people who are trying to reach you with their content going to make an impact? And so that's why the community side of it is big. So like people who are producing content now, building those communities, you at least have something to go to if you can't market to people if they're creating their own content in the future. And this is going to be happening probably before 2030 as far as the ability for people to create their own shows and entertainment. So with all that, this is some faster, quick, faster points as far as why I've been doing what I'm doing. I'm creating a lot of content because YouTube is now the #1 streaming platform. It's not only the #2 search engine anymore. It is the #1 streaming platform with YouTube TV, mobile, on the TV, the iPads, everything else. And then another big thing to look out for the rest of this year is social media viewers will outnumber TV viewers. So again, if I can help people create more content at scale, utilizing what they've already done or what they will continue to do, that I'm setting people up for success as far as YouTube and social media go. And then here's more of just food for thought as far as like just overall things. It's like, don't ask what tech stack you need, like what tools. You can actually either find the right person or go find the right platform that'll let you build something off of it. But like think about what you can build for yourself instead of what tech stack you need. So I think I love those three things. I love those trends, and I think I have a few more here too. Here's one of my favorite ones as well. Anybody recall seeing a story about Coca-Cola getting a lot of shit for AI generated Christmas video or Christmas commercial? It's because it's not genuine. They saw that they were trying to do something trendy and turn one of their traditional Christmas commercials into AI. It didn't go over well, and it's because of a lot of these things here, and IP infringement and things like that. That's always been in the back of my mind, especially when I started my business. I was like, I don't want to be someone who comes in and be like, I'll generate this video for you or this photo for you. It's like, that doesn't protect me. It doesn't protect my clients because honestly, this is something I created. It's all copyrighted. It's good. But something Coca-Cola, they may have generated something. They may have used a background, and that AI that created it could have stolen it from Google Images or something that it trained off of. So you're putting yourself at risk as far as business and marketing goes if you're relying on the generated stuff to produce the things that you want out in the public. So I like using this as an example because it's supposed to loop. Hopefully it comes back here. But this was something I built for a client just based off of their landing page. And so I had a template ready to go with an AI video tool that I'll show you guys here soon. But I just took stock photography, stock video. I took the messaging that they had on their landing page, their logo, their branding, and I made something really safe for them. And this, from an ad agency standpoint, this would have cost them $5,000, $10,000 easy to produce something like this. someone to write the script and do everything, but everything was AI produced. I used stuff that they already had, stuff they've already spent money on, and gave them something that they could go out, put on a print mailer that someone can scan a QR code for, or put out on social media or YouTube or things like that. It's just safer for you and your business. All right, good. We're doing all right time. Another big thing to look out for too, and I just updated this morning. I thought this was something that was going to come into law come January, but the European Union is creating and will pass, or has created and will pass here shortly, the AI Act, which will essentially make ChatGPT, other large language models like that, and other GPTs pretty much non-existent in the EU because they're training on massive amounts of internet data. And so EU says that's not cool. That's other people's intellectual property. And so we won't have something like that in the US for a long time, but it's very interesting to me that we're going to have all these great tools, but I think they're going to significantly change as we move forward here. And there's just protecting people's data, but then also you create something, you don't want the AI to use what you created to train and create something that may be better or worse. So that's something that's really cool to think about. Another thing is, I don't think a lot of the tools that we're using, a lot of things that pop up every day, things that, the billions of dollars and millions of dollars of investments, there's a huge bubble as far as investments go. Not all of the AI tools that we have today will be there tomorrow. So choose wisely. But probably the biggest thing there is I've never paid for an annual subscription. I've always paid for the monthly ones. So keep that in mind as you look at different platforms, because you don't want to invest in something that may not be there later on. Here's another thing. It's like, okay, so everybody hear of SEO, search engine optimization for your website? Huge thing. Yeah. That is AIO now, in my mind. It's like if more people are using ChatGPT, it is, and right here's the most important part is, search engines will switch from crawling websites to find pages to crawling the web to find information to add to a knowledge base. So, as an example, you and your team should not be focusing on your website as much. Be like, we need to have the right title, we need to have the right subhead on here, the right keywords everywhere. It's like, how good is your content overall? Is it going to answer people's questions? Is it going to be a good source for GPTs to go in there and say, hey, this is one of the top 5 things that you need to know from this response? That's why I have everything here in the middle here, because everything you're already doing or not doing as far as videos, podcasting, blog articles, they work well for SEO, but I have multiple placements, I have transcripts, and I have captions all in there from a video and podcasting standpoint. The more you can use AI to create more content, have more transcripts out there, have more captions, you're giving the AI the ability to curate that piece of information across multiple channels, so that you're giving yourself and your business more of a chance to show up in those AI curated responses. And so that's why I've been doing what I've been doing, is creating as much content as possible, relying less on individual pages and things. So, yeah.
Clarifying question. So what I'm hearing you say is that these GPTs are creating like these banks of content.
Mm-hmm.
So, and anytime somebody asks a question and out there on AI, it goes back to its bank.
Mm-hmm.
And in order for your content or our content to show up in that bank or be used, it's got to be same kind of content everywhere and lots of different places online.
Yeah. Yes. And funny enough, it's like the way you put it out there too. It's like bulleted points, little things like that, where the AI can read the bulleted points better than it can in a paragraph, or the speed of it and things. And I actually bypassed one thing I wanted to point out. I think I had 48% of the most widely used news websites across 10 countries were blocking OpenAI's crawlers, which is a whole other thing to worry about as far as just where the information's coming from. To me, this said, okay, there's going to be, like the New York Times, for example, they're like, ChatGPT, we don't want you crawling our website because that's our information. We don't want you using that for training and like maybe taking our breaking news story and acting like it's your breaking news story. So that's the kind of things I'm talking about there with the publishers and people who want to own that information. But I think that's going to happen more and more. And then some of the recommendations and things I have in here and some things I'm already selling. It's also important to note that, okay, you have the public facing things like ChatGPT, where you may or may not know with the settings icon in the upper right, you can tell ChatGPT to like not use your searches or questions as part of its overall public training. So you can turn that off. But if you don't, or if you do turn it off, or turn it off and not have the ability for that to use your data, that's a whole nother side of it. Think about it from a company standpoint too. A lot of the tools I'm utilizing is proprietary. It's blocked off from the public facing AI tools, which gives you an advantage of like saying, hey, use our AI tool because it's like, whether it's internally or external messaging that way, be like, hey, this is proprietary to us. This information, this AI tool we have is using our information as a sales team or whatever. It's like, it's good information. It's not pulling in some third party assets and things like that you don't know where it's coming from. Hopefully that all makes sense too. Let's go back. I think we're almost at, here's the last slide in the trends section, I believe. And this is something I haven't even really fully comprehended, especially you'll see acronym AGI, Artificial General Intelligence, coming up here. And that's essentially just saying, a lot of the billions of dollars that ChatGPT or OpenAI is getting right now is to really send out machines and agents that are better than a lot of PhDs out there from a human standpoint. And that's why they're already selling like a $20,000 PhD level AI agent. We're gonna have that super intelligence really soon. But again, it's like, who's monitoring it? I think the EU is doing a great job of like saying like, all right, let's slow down a little bit here, because at the bottom line here I have is like, AI improving, AI could collapse timelines. Even with backlash, the race may not stop. So it's like, where do we have those checks and balances, to make sure we're not just going off the rails here with everything. So much more to come from that, but yeah. 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 That's a good catch, because I think that's trying to say like it's from a human role standpoint, it's going to evolve certain jobs, or a lot of jobs. So there's that. All right. Overwhelmed? Am I talking too fast? Probably am, but what's that? Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
What safeguards are there on the quality of the content rates from a research perspective? What tools are there for us to like cross-reference and check it? For example, I don't know if they fix it, Google first released Bard, its first iteration of AI. Google put prompts in there and be like, create an image of and it was politically biased to the point where he wasn't white. There's no way this could actually have been George Washington. Clearly. Or whatever. So like, what for somebody that wouldn't know, that can't be right, their own education. What tools, if any, are in place to mitigate?
Oh, that's a good question.
Generating factually incorrect or just creative information and pawning it off as if it's not creative.
From an AI generated standpoint, or for image or videos, actually I don't know of any tools that can check that. I'm only thinking of the ones that I've used for text based. But they're still not the best ones.
So
Yeah.
It's
It's
how you know that it's not just making the data. I did a little tooling with this a little bit, in the workspace. I asked it to several months ago. I don't know the exact prompt, but something like, can you tell me what the default rates were for the last 50 years? Evidently, its time span that I asked for was more than what it was 50 years. It's just telling me that. And it generated it. And then check it, and it was like, almost all of it was wrong.
yeah.
This isn't good.
Yeah. Well, you have. I know of a few, but I can't think of them offhand. But you have. Yeah.
From my use and perspective, you have to remember, like in
That's a good point.
One of the things that is the safest is to give it the data and then ask it to compile it or analyze it or to give you the trends. Don't ask it to do searching unless you're giving it the sources that it can pull the data from. Because I mean, like you said, like you can also it can't show it can potentially show just like on the first result. Like when you Google something, for instance, what are the best places to visit in Australia? Like there's going to be 10 results, and then of those 10 results, there's going to be pages that are going to be top 10 things to do in Australia. Each one of those is going to have top 10 things, and then all that ChatGPT or other AI can do is read those pages and then summarize those pages. So if the data that it has to start with is bad, it probably found a page that had incorrect fault rates. Send it the past 100 years and then ask it to build graphs or ask it to show you the average over a curve line, trend line. So give it the data instead of asking it to read.
Yeah.
That's what I
That
did
is.
here. So I gave it this percentage, all this percentage information, asked it to turn it into an infographic.
There you go.
And I source it, not on this one, but a different one I sourced where I got the information from. And I just had text and I put it into ChatGPT and it pushed out this infographic. So
Yeah.
something like that.
So one thing I did is I went to our company. Shackley use AI. They really advanced it, says they do. So we have a meology, which actually you put your questions in and you take a quiz and it tells you exactly the supplements you need for your body. You can even put it in your like
Nice.
23andMe, which I don't think is around anymore. That type of thing. And it says they use that in their program, the personalized vitamin and supplement recommendations. I think that's really cool. That a lot of companies aren't coming up to date with this because I'll tell you what, 10 years ago with Retina Pills, there's no way they could have said, "Hey, I'll be like, yes, you have a brown spot. I can help you." So I think that's really cool. I never thought about that before. Because they could do over 110 million combinations through AI to figure out what supplements you need.
Yes, that's a good point that I really didn't call out. I think I've had it in there as far as personalization is going to be the number one thing as far as utilizing all that data. But there's actually a call out for one company that was founded here in Louisville. They're called AIBES, AIBES. They work with a lot of enterprise systems and things, but they literally have made money just going in and cleaning up the data and making sure that everything is good before you feed it into AI. So if your company would be interested in that, contact them because they literally just dive into the data and then build out the systems and make sure everything's good from that standpoint. So you're not messing around and putting stuff in there that is bad.
So we talked about the SEO.
Yeah.
So going forward, you focus more on making AI friendly side source.
Yeah, and it's a battle too, and that's why I'm saying like I have a real estate client who I create a certain number of videos for her every month, but I make sure that they're distributed across Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere, and then all resourced and embedded on all different websites and things too. So just so that it can be found and hopefully to be like, oh, she's just a little bit more accessible than others is the goal for right now, at least.
So you kind of have to, like, you're doing work, but you're also kind of looking into getting picked up.
That, yes, I would say so, because and I've seen different people be like, this is how you get ranked on ChatGPT, and I'm like, I think that's just a sales pitch right now. I really haven't seen a tried and true of like this is how you optimize like you can with SEO, like this is how you can go after a certain keyword. I just haven't seen a tried and true approach for that right now.
Do you think AI will change as quickly
Oh yeah, and that's where that's the foundation. Was like if you have a good library of resources, that's the start. Yeah, I mean I think that's the only thing you can do right now. Yeah, great question. So another things of bypasses like what you and AI can do now. So hopefully you haven't overwhelmed a lot of folks yet, and then hopefully it's like here's what we can actually start accomplishing. And so I think number one, first and foremost, is don't look at AI as an enemy or anything. It's look at it as a collaborator. It's like it's not really going to replace a lot of jobs. It's just going to tweak things, really, I think, and just expect more from us. I heard something before is like in marketing, especially, is like there's not going to be quote unquote entry level jobs anymore. It's going to be like, okay, no matter what age you are, you have these AI tools to do more and do it faster than you would have, coming out of college. So that makes a lot of sense to me from that standpoint. And then here's another thing that I've been proud of as far as just like I've had an age-old website belief of like with native advertising, like even Facebook ads, that's native advertising. It's native to the platform. It looks like posts and things. It's supposed to make it look more part of an environment. And so that's been part of our experience. And so I truly have believed, and it's showing now more than ever with AI, that if you're going straight to ChatGPT and you're getting 5 or 6 different recommendations and resources inside of one response, that's going to greatly reduce your time on other people's websites and things like we've already seen. And that also goes with anything that we will wear in the future, whether it's going to be a contact lens or anything augmented reality that pops out and taps all your glasses and things. Like it's just your branding, like you're talking about. It's like your branding is going to be completely different. People aren't really going to know you from your logo or your colors. I truly believe they're going to know you if your AI is knowledgeable enough, responds quickly, and provides a good customer experience. So I feel like that's where people win. But then also having your AI work with your human employees to provide that customer experience too, whether it's online or in store as well.
So from a content generation side, will AI, like AI generated
Yeah, I think that's gonna change dramatically once if we get some EU regulations and things. And I think Amanda and I were just talking to her mother the other night. She's like, I'm not gonna know anything. I'm not gonna know what's real and what's not. And I was like, you're right, unless things change as far as rules go. Absolutely. So here's some things I'm keeping in mind from a strategy standpoint. We've already talked to community building. Again, it's like if you start now creating content, start building that community if you haven't already. That's going to be really to your benefit from a company-wide standpoint, because you're going to have that audience no matter if they can create their own content or not. Consistency will be key. It's not producing 5 videos one week and then going cold for the next 2 months. It's like keeping that good flow of information. But also, advertising will still be a part of the game. I just don't think it's going to be as targeted, because the more and more we look at our data, the EU and everything like that, there's going to be less targeting capabilities, and it's going to be more contextual from the standpoint of, is your content hitting the right people? And so the content that they are reading, is it going to be contextual to what they're reading so that you can advertise the right messages to them more so than you can even do now? So that's more of like where I see the targeting capabilities going or staying in that lane. But then we talked about the personalization from it too, the one-to-one lead generation, having those AI agents or having those knowledge bases and all of those data points that you're talking about, having that accessible and ready to go tools for your customers, I think is going to be huge. And I actually have a few of those examples later on here. And so this is some of the strategies and tactics too that I've been building out. Knowing all of that, I've been developing some AI avatar automated emails for clients. I've been building the AI agents as far as all of the FAQs and content you guys have already put, brochures, website content, sales decks, anything that you have. I have taken that from clients and I've put it into these knowledge bases so that the AI agents can either have a phone call with somebody, can text back to them, can send them a WhatsApp message or Instagram or Facebook, you name it. I have even more examples about that too here. And that all goes hand in hand with the content and engagement automation, which I think, Julie, you and I talked about some of that last time. And I have a lot of screenshots on that, which we probably won't get to, but again, you guys will have the full course and everything too, or the full PowerPoint presentation. And so these are the types of content I've been producing. Even things like LinkedIn, where if you spend a lot of time on there, you've probably seen some of the biggest changes. It's like, don't regurgitate third-party sources on LinkedIn anymore. It's like, what kind of personalized story can you bring to the table? That's going to be a huge thing. My content engine actually does a ton of that. So it takes your existing content and be like, okay, Todd knows this much about this subject, and we're going to take the latest AI algorithm or the latest LinkedIn algorithm changes and use that, his content, and we're going to produce a story or a post that will be genuine to his audience. And so you can see that path in these slides as well. So I've been trying to think from, an individual thought leadership standpoint for owners, executives, small business owners. That's what I call thought leadership for the individual standpoint. But then maybe I've run into a lot of clients and companies that already have a great YouTube channel, but they just don't know how to redistribute and repurpose that content. I've been doing a lot of that already. And then on demand is for some clients who are like, man, as a staff, we can only produce one video a month. It's like, we really got to do more. I come in and I help them create 5, 6, 7 multi-teens, types of videos to help them produce more content. And then there's the opportunistic side of it, is that AI agent, the engagement systems, just being able to track and engage people. You talk about the automation side of it, is like, that's all there for the taking, but it's, from that AGI standpoint we talked about, is it really like off and running on its own? No, it still needs a lot of human prompting and advisory and all of that good stuff to make sure it's working properly, which kind of like that OCD side. I'm the same way, where I'm like, is it the right message going out? But yeah, there's some ways to go around it to make sure that it's good to go. But with that too, it's like manual versus automated messaging. I have things in place. If you do want to be more hands-on with things, it's like, okay, here's a tool and I'm using it on LinkedIn, and you don't want an AI to respond to people for you. There's lots of ways to do that from a manual standpoint, but then automated messaging is great. But again, platforms are beginning to crack down on it. LinkedIn, if you have an AI that sends 100 messages in one day, they'll be like, that person's using AI. We're going to flag their profile, and it's going to go down for a couple of days, and you have to spend time with their support team and get it unflagged. But some of the platforms are getting smart and setting parameters of like, you can only send 15 messages a day, so it doesn't look like it's too spammy or anything like that. Just another thing to keep in mind as we do all this stuff. So we get into the sections as far as the capabilities and things that I've been doing. Fishing for people or teaching them how to fish. And I can go really quick through this. Oh, it's already 1:33, so. All right. Yeah. I'll show some examples real quick. I think I'll start, that's not a real person. That's not a real person. That's a cloned version of her voice. She was the first person to let me clone her voice. This is repurposing, taking their morning radio show on YouTube and on traditional radio and repurposing across all those channels. They have a Substack and everything else that they put out there. This is all of the on-demand content I've created as far as different commercials for local and outside clients. And that's actually a former photo of Colin Cowherd, just turned into a video. I just took this from the grocery store at Kroger, took a few pictures of it, turned it into a 3D model. It's all doable. It's all more cost effective than it ever has been. This is an AI avatar-led instructional video. And there you go. And I didn't think I needed audio, but now I do. But you get the gist. This was a physical therapy group that I showed them. This is how you can either train people internally or externally on things. This is a personalized video where this is my avatar right there going through their website as an example. It can be personalized just like any other email as well. And then quizzes are more efficient than ever, and so are online courses, or these are online courses. I'll go over that. I created an online course for this gentleman here. He is an executive leadership coach. But it just goes like, this is something that would have taken a team of 10, several years ago, multiple months to create, whether it was because every lesson in there has a video, it has a podcast, it has an assignment, it has weekly resources in it. Not to mention it doesn't even have quizzes. So like I did something in 3 weeks that, would have taken a team of 10 so many months before. And then this is one of my favorite things, is a digital sales room. If you haven't heard of these, that's okay, because I'm so frustrated that I haven't heard of these. since late last year. But these have been around for like 2 or 3 years where you get somebody in here, you utilize all the AI content you're producing, you can give somebody a really cool experience of like, here's your personalized room. You can come in, you can have a, we can have a specific video for them. So here's an example of it. Like you can personalize that message to them, make them feel really good about, oh, this room is just for me. But the best part about it is instead of like sending them to a landing page or an email, what I found most successful is you can actually go in, you send it to somebody directly, they enter, you know their email address already. You can track all of their engagements within the digital sales room. And so you know whether or not they're like a real prospect. So it's like, oh, this person came back. Be like, you can actually go into the digital sales room and message them, be like, hey, thanks for coming back. What's up? Might be a little creepy in some cases, but it's better than not knowing if the prospect is actually wanting to buy or not. Thought that was pretty neat. There's the AI agents. I keep saying that name, but essentially, this is something that will actually go out there, human-like queries and responses. And I'm actually building this for a flooring company and also a residential and commercial construction builder. So anybody can call in, text, and get the same experience that they can with a human sales rep. That's all being there. Prospect enrichment with data, engagement, ringless voicemail messages. If you're interested in that, that's a possibility as far as taking your CRM, sending out ringless voicemails. Digital media buying's becoming much easier. This is something I've built for small business owners. If you don't want to do your own content creation, you want to do your own outreach, this is a complete package that does everything for you and comes with a digital sales room creation, the outreach and engagement, and then all the strategy and everything that comes with building the right LinkedIn content for you as well. And then teaching you how to fish, all of that stuff. And then this is probably one of the things you're probably most interested in today, as far as here are the tools that I've loved the most and have been most cost effective. This is great for really quick video renderings. And if you may or may not have a Canva subscription or whatnot, but like even if you want to use the free version, throw an image on there, it'll reduce the background for you, everything. Cast Magic's great for just, let's say you have a company-wide YouTube video, you want to have the full script, you want to create prompts and different social media tools and scripts posts for it, it'll do that for you. HeyGen's great, that's where all the Avatar videos came from. NVIDIA is another great video platform that I've used for a lot of the examples that you saw. This one too, let's say Liz and Scott wanted to just stop doing their in-person podcasts and clone their voices and create a podcast. They can do that with 11 Labs. High Level is great for multiple things. And then Runway is great. You can even just upload a photo and be like, hey, this would be great. We have a great picture of this house that we finished this project on and we want to make it into a 180 panoramic shot. So like upload it to Runway and it'll add the automation or add the traction for you on that. Motion's great for project management. Gamma is probably one of my favorites because you can literally like, okay, ChatGPT, give me this outline for this presentation for this prospect, and then you can upload the PowerPoint to Gamma and it will give you a ready to go PowerPoint presentation for that client. So it'll be pretty cool. And then Search Atlas is great for organic and paid search. And then Munch will take any video that you have, whether it's 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and then it'll give you, multiple vertical assets that are 10, 20, 30 seconds long, and you can put it out on social media. Yes, exactly, yeah. And it will give you the copy for the YouTube short versus LinkedIn versus TikTok, and it'll version it out for you, give you the right hashtags. It'll actually show you the keyword search volume. So it'll be like, this is why we selected this keyword and hashtag. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. And then, but I do want to show you, Julie, this is all just the improvements and things and how the implementation stuff works. But what I'm most proud about is the content engine, where again, this is the person I made the course for, where I can take all of these steps. My content engine incorporates 8 different GPTs and 20 different automations to take your LinkedIn profile and develop a strategy off of it, help develop your ideal customer profiles. It will build your brand voice for you. And then it will generate a content plan, whether it's 1 day or 30 days, and also up to 3 months. And then you can select your favorite AI model. DeepSeek's in there, GPT, Claude's my preferred one there for content, and also just added a few others. And then it'll give you the full schedule and everything to go with it, so that you can see it. So instead of sitting down and trying to write 30 different pieces of content for you in your own voice, it'll do it for you. And this is just to show you everything that's involved. It's an out-of-the-box solution, so you can just start creating content right away. So, and that is control. So one person can control 10 profiles, or 3 people or 5 people can control 50 different profiles for your company, and you can make sure everything is right in line. So, yeah.
We can talk around the phone, please.
Well, there's
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for being here. And while, if you guys have any questions, now will be the time, and I'll start collecting tickets for the prize.
Yes, and while she does that, this is what I promised at the very beginning, where you go to that landing page. Please let me know how you felt about today, and I would love to, any chance to help brainstorm or bring me into your different companies, and I can even, try to make a better approach of finishing off a presentation for you.